The Trump administration has announced that they're ending TPS and certain parole protections for Venezuelan and Haitian immigrants.
The Trump administration's announcement that it'll be removing temporary protected status for Haitian migrants.
That means that hundreds of thousands of immigrants are going to be without legal papers in the United States very soon. Now, keep in mind, these are legal immigrants who were allowed into the country legally, who will now be subject to possible removal if there are no other options after the program ends. If you are on TPS, or you entered with a parole program, you need to hear this because I'm going to give you information to consider as you move forward to protect yourself here in the United States. It is important to evaluate your options before your legal status ends under TPS or under the parole programs. In this video, I'll break down what will happen after these programs end, whether you can have an option to stay here legally, what options exist to protect yourself. U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, I help immigrants to stay here legally, and I also provide information that empowers immigrants through their immigration journey. So what will happen when the TPS and parole programs end? When it expires, and if it's not renewed, this means that work authorization, legal status, and protection from deportation also end. We will see a number of immigrants who entered on parole or who were on TPS go into removal proceedings or even be subject to expedited removal. Expedited removal is a speedy type of deportation process where the government is not required to put the immigrant before a judge in order to seek relief before being deported. So step 2 now is to look at what are the options that are available to stay here legally. If you don't want to leave or you can't leave because of the state of your country, then you can consider these forms of relief or immigration benefits that you qualify for. You can look at applying for the green card based on marriage or based on family. Having certain U.S. citizen relatives can mean that you would be able to adjust status here, and you should do this as soon as possible without delay. Now, if you are here and you feel like you've been the victim of abuse, if you've been the victim of a crime, if you felt forced to do things that you did not want to do, you were exploited by either an individual or an employer, then it's time to get in touch with us to talk about potential options to seek relief. You need to tell the government that you are a victim here because that can lead to legal protections. The employment-based green card is also an option. Under certain circumstances, you may qualify to adjust status if you entered lawfully and you've not been out of status for more than 180 days under Section 245K. If you have an employer who's willing to petition for you, now is the time to look into this option and get started ASAP before your status ends. And if you can't go back to your country because you're being targeted, you will face certain death, torture, or dangers, then it's time to look at other types of options like applying for asylum, withholding of removal, or Convention Against Torture. This will stop you from being deported and instead extend to you protections to be safe here in the United States. Now, if you are detained and you're seeking protection from deportation, it's time to consider these options. Once again, if you are going through typical immigration proceedings and you have not been subject to expedited removal, you can go before a judge and you can put forth certain defenses, like you can claim asylum, you can claim withholding of removal, or the Convention Against Torture. If you've been here for a long time, at least 10 years, then you may qualify for cancellation of removal. That's where the judge cancels the removal and instead grants you the ability to get your green card. And remember, if you are in this situation, always seek an attorney, never sign any documents, and exercise your right to remain silent, exercise your right to have access to counsel before anything else. The time is now and hope is not lost. You can look at your other options just depending on your circumstances. Here at SC Law Office, we offer a free initial evaluation to determine whether we can take your case. And then once we determine that, we get straight to work to focus on strategy that can help you to stay here legally. Once again, if you found this video helpful, go ahead, like, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you never miss an update and so that other immigrants can see this information, learn, and empower themselves through the immigration journey. Until next time, take care.